This is Tales from a Nobody, episode 5. And I am a nobody. Today we are going to talk about a song that has been a request from Lee. The song is Clear from the Forever album. He loves the song. He came to see us play in Bush Hall last time we played in Bush Hall, and we played that song, and Lee made a video of it on his phone, which is all really distorted and quite brilliant. I will include the link to his YouTube video underneath, so you can go and watch that. But he asked if I would talk a little bit about the song. So as I always say, if people request something, I will do my best to accommodate. So I had to ask Jim and Mark about this song. There are a couple of conflicting ideas on it, but I think because it was a long time ago, it was on the Forever album. That was 1993 when that came out. So I think it was recorded in 93. It might have been recorded between the American and European part of the Cure tour. Then that was 92. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was recorded at Fast Protocol Studio in London. Jim played mainly all the parts, but I think Mark played... There's a sort of noise guitar part on the end, which is quite hard to hear on the album version, because it's mixed quite low. But there is a Jim Thirwell remix where you can hear it much louder, and I'll include that link in the description as well, so you can go and check that out. And we think maybe Mark might have played that part on the record. But there are a few interesting parts on the record Clear. As I say, it was recorded at Fast Protocol in London, and I suppose the main part to get out of the way first is that, well, first of all, the intro comes in. So the intro part like this. So those bongo parts you hear at the start, that's the Roland R5 drum machine, Jim's Roland R5 drum machine. And then and there's sort of is an organ sound on the Roland W30 sampler, and it's organ sound with maybe 2 or 3 key chords, and then the sort of pitch bender on it going. So that's where that sound comes from, and then it comes in with the drums and the guitar part. So the guitar part is quite straightforward on this. It's just the first and the fifth of the chord, and it sort of goes and it does that pretty much all the way through, apart from after the second break. After the second break, it will go... and then in the actual break, where there's lots of other instruments, so let's not run ahead of ourselves. So, yeah, you got the intro with the R5 bongos, congos, the W30 organ, then the guitar, and the bass follows that. So the bass follows that, and then you've got the break part, which is this break part here. Now the guitar on that, it will just hit just hit an E major and dive down with the whammy bar, so it'll go. and then they all come back in like this, and the song comes back in. Now that's that is based on, there's, you know, Jim's drumming on it, and there's a few other bits, but you got the in that little break part there, you've got these sort of breathy strings. That's Roland W30 strings again, and then after the second break, you've also got string stabs that come in here. Those stabs are also Roland W30 strings, but obviously different type of sound, a stabby type of sound, which is cool. But there's some more interesting sounds in there. You hear this, there's this scraping sound here. There's in a couple of places. So you've got it at the start here, and then you've got it later on in the song here. Now that scraping sound is quite interesting, because that is actually the wheel rim without the tyre of Jim's old Mark III Cortina being dragged by a chain across the loading bay of Fast Protocol recording studio by Mark, and then being recorded by Jim. That's what that scraping sound is. That's how that sound came about, and then Jim dropped it into the song, which is really cool. Now the Jim Thirwell remixes, they were, when they first came out, they were pressed to, I think they were pressed to vinyl, but they were awful. I think they cut them too loud or something. Jim was telling me they were just not very good at all. But then they got remastered when CDs. It got remastered for CD, and it got sorted out. So the CD remaster of the Jim Thirwell mixes were really good, and that's hopefully what I'm going to link in the description below, so you can see how that goes. So that is basically, let's see. You got after the second break, the guitar goes up. Ali obviously wrote all the lyrics, wrote the melody line, and recorded the vocal with a I believe it was her AKG 414 microphone, which just happens to be exactly the same as this microphone here that I'm using. It's the identical model, C414C1LB. That's it, which is cool. And that really is about it for the song Clear. It's fun to play. It's a real good, solid Crane song. And that's about it, really. So quite a short one today, but the guitar part, the bass follows the guitar. That's the whole guitar part all the way through. Yeah, Mark played that. We think Mark played that bit on the end. Jim thought that initially that it was the original scrape from his dad's garage, but then Mark remembered doing it again in Protocol, and then Jim was like, oh yeah, I think we re-recorded it when we got to Protocol, and they did it again so that they could record it a bit better. So it took a couple of us to I got some little tiny notes here, there's not many of them. Strings, there's missed them out, loading bay. Yeah, so there's not much to talk about, really. That's how the song goes together. Yeah, no real anecdotes. As you can see from last time, I've grown. You see, I've been at the old beard juice. So yeah, what do you think? It's getting less here and more here. I think it's the law of an old man getting older. I think that's the law of it. So the more thin it goes on there, the more it comes up here. The hair of my chinny chin. So that is the song Clear. I've probably missed lots of things out. I can't think of anything that I can miss out, really. Hopefully the little clips I put in doesn't get the video banned on YouTube, although I've been in the fucking band since 1995, so if YouTube do ban it, then fuck you. But I'm sure they won't, so that was maybe prematurely harsh, but that's what I'm like, so that's how it comes out. Thank you for watching. I hope that satisfies a little bit of curiosity about the song Clear for anyone that is interested. If you have any more suggestions about any songs, any bits, noises, sounds, quirks, quibulations, if I made that word up, I don't know, then put it in the comments, and we'll see if we can do anything about it. So this is Tales from a Nobody. I am a nobody.